sought the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. I want to read also from the book of Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22. It says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Legacy goes beyond material things. Legacy that can make a child become that which God wants him to be, or a generation to become what they ought to be, has spiritual notes. We looked at the book of Genesis chapter 18. God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And he said, will I do this and not tell Abraham my friend, seeing he will teach his children's children? That's a legacy. The precept of God is the greatest legacy you can give your children. The precepts of God, the instructions of God, is the greatest thing we can give a generation. Look at what Abraham did. By the walk he walked with God, he was able to secure a covenant. Covenant is greater than money. Covenant is greater than houses. Covenant is greater than cars. Covenant is greater than land. A walk with God will secure for you with God will secure for you a covenant over your lineage. A walk with God will produce a covenant for a generation. Let me give an instance of David. David walked with God even though he made mistake. God entered a covenant with David, and he said, David, you will not lack a seed from sitting on this throne. That was the covenant. And the Bible called the covenant that God had with David the sure mercy of David. He said, when your children make mistake, I will not take my mercy away from them like I took it from Saul. That's what God said. He will not take his mercy away. There is a way we live in life and walk with God that God will look at us and say, because of you, because of your father, this will not happen to you. Because of your mother, this will not happen to you. Because of your work. And that's one of the reasons why David said, I was young, now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed beg for bread. That's why I said that. Because there's a coverage that covenant brings. You see, the interesting thing about covenant is this. Covenant is constant. God can give a person mercy and he doesn't receive mercy tomorrow. But when he gives a person the covenant of mercy, every day of his life, he will receive mercy. All his children will receive mercy. His children's children will receive mercy. In their lineage, mercy will be constant. So when people are looking for what to bequeath to their children, they should bequeath covenant. If you have a privilege from God and he's asking you, asking me for something, please ask for covenant. If you are looking for anything from God, ask for covenant. Covenants, you see, just like the covenant and oath that are made at shrine follow lineage. That's how the covenant of God follow life. Let me share a testimony with you. My dad was building a house. While he was building it, Deeper Life came to meet him. That, please, can you give us this place to be doing service there till it will be ready. And when it's ready, we will leave and look for a property. So my dad gave it to them. While he was building, they were trying to get a property. So my dad was building it. When he finished it, he gave it to Deeper Life. When he gave it to Deeper Life, they said, and our people have known this place. The place has a lot of compounds. We would like to buy it. My dad said, don't worry, I give it to you. Now, I received the grace of ease in my life. That one day I was saying, Lord, what did I do to get this thing constantly? Teach me. He says, not you, it's what your father did for me. Now, he did it on his own. He didn't do it to get a covenant from God. I want to do this, it will come with ease. I want to do this, it will come with ease. Other people will struggle at such point. But when I get there, it will be easy for me. So I said, Lord, teach me. I don't know what I did that is making you do this for me every time and things will just work for me. He said, it's not. It's your father. So, my father did not give, though there are properties, but listen, you see that? It's enough for me. So, whatever his properties were, I was not interested. Because this one, and I'm the only one that know I'm out of all his children, that this is the reason why things work for me. So I will say, Lord, I'm going for this. People say it does not, people, they don't get things easy there because of the covenant of my father. Let it work for me. And it always works for me. They say, how did you get it? I said, I have a covenant on my head. While I was in the university, I used to do a physics course. I was a fellowship leader. So we do the physics course around 5 to 7, practical class. Well, I would take my readings. Once I take my readings, I would go to the fellowship as a leader. I must not get there late. So when I get to the fellowship, after the fellowship, I will sit down to do my calculation and submit it. The lecturer, Dr. Ali, said nobody should submit the next day, that I will not take it. When I get there, the man will collect it from me. Anybody that follows me, he will collect from me. So they will now be saying, Shebi, you know him. That's why he's collecting from you. I said, I don't know. They say, you don't know him. How come he collects from you and he does not collect from us? They will now beg me that, please beg him. We were in the same situation. We were both criminals that did not submit our calculation at the time we were supposed to calculate. I will now beg him. He will now say it's because of him. Then he will collect from me. So one day, one guy submitted. One guy, I was submitting. One guy now pushed his own. Listen. Okay. So, Lord, come. No, don't worry, I will mix it. I'll mix it. Lord, come. I will submit the paper. The motion submitted. He just said, believe, move it. He said, but sir, he too did not submit yesterday like us. Then he made a statement. He said, she ain't got to fishuri, left fishuri. They say covenant. See, I know I have that covenant and it works for me. So now, I am not going to allow my children to just enjoy the covenant of my father. I also started doing things. That, Lord, if this is what my dad did, that made you give me this covenant, I will do something like that too for you. So I've done more for God in that line. And I know my children too will enjoy it. It is greater. You see, you can build a house and give a child. Disaster can eat the house, like what happened in Bodija recently. And the house is gone. I have two friends that they have a house that their father gave them then. They were expecting money that month. When the house went down, bam, and the money is gone. So you can't really say wealth is a legacy. Because it may not be there. You could put money in bank and the bank will close up like Heritage Bank. So you have a lot of things. You see a car can have accident and it's right off. thing I feel we need to submit ourselves to. A walk with God. A walk with God. A walk with God will secure a covenant for you. We talk about Methuselah, and we speak somehow about Methuselah. That he has nothing, he just lived and just many years, 900 and something. Do you know it was the work of Enoch with God that made that age possible for Methuselah? What will you bring for your children? As a father, as a mother, you must be able to live a life that promises a future for your children. The man of God, this man of God is very wealthy as in things he has. He has an Achilles plane. An Achilles plane is a war plane. An Achilles plane can land you. But he uses it to distribute rice. He goes to country where there's war. He goes to country where they are poor. And he will take tons of rice and look for somebody he can trust. He has a lot of things. He's in the man of God, he's in America. He's somebody I'm close to, but it's late now. He's on 187 television stations. The same more number on radio station. When he died, they checked his account. In his account was just $92 with that level of money. And they now said, this man did not leave wealth for his children. Then his son said, what our father secured for us in covenant is greater than money.